Have you ever gone to a concert and found yourself in the general admission standing area just in front of the stage, or what's also known as the pit? It can be uncomfortable, cramped, even stinky, but the benefit is that you're right in front of the stage, close to the action. Sometimes it gets unruly, especially if it's a heavy metal show. Sometimes it turns into a full-blown mosh pit. Did you ever wonder how the general admission pit got started? Well, maybe you haven't, and that's okay, but that's what we're going to be taking a look at in this video. One of the earliest examples of the pit was the famous Globe Theatre, the theater that housed Shakespeare's plays and his theater company, the Lord Chamberlain's Men. The Globe was opened in 1599 in London. The original structure actually burned down and was rebuilt and operated until 1664. Despite its popularity, shows were occasionally banned, and the Globe was closed on numerous occasions thanks to disease, accusations of criminal activity, and religious objections to the theater. The pit, or the yard as it was also called, at the Globe Theatre was an open, grassy area that surrounded three sides of the stage. It was general admission, standing room only, as opposed to the more expensive balcony seats. The pit tickets were only a penny. It was usually the so-called groundlings that bought pit tickets, the lower class of society. Sometimes they were accused of being criminals and acting out criminal behavior inside the Globe. The single coin admissions were dropped into slots in locked boxes to ensure there was no cash theft. Pretty smart. Nowadays, these pit tickets or any concert tickets cost quite a bit more than a penny, and the cash theft comes more in the form of exuberant ticket resale prices and ambiguous service fees. Shakespeare's theater company was contracted to the Globe and acted out every play, so Shakespeare had to keep up and write a lot of plays. So local patrons that would come to the theater would see the same actors act out different stories. It would be like going to see the same band playing a new set of songs at the same venue every time you went. Some of these groundlings did indeed get unruly, drunk, and loud in the pit. It wasn't out of the ordinary for theater goers to yell at the actors during their performance or even throw stuff on stage. Does this sound familiar to modern times? And let's talk about the smell. You think that some of these guys at modern rock concerts have bad body odor? Imagine the Globe Theatre in a time when there were no toilets, there was no plumbing, and bathing was far less essential than it is today. Not to mention, given this was the 1600s, there were no elaborate lighting setups, so the roof was actually open and the plays were performed in the daytime, rain or shine. So while the Globe Theatre's pit might not have been home to moshing metalheads, they were an unruly bunch that, in a way, does resemble a modern chaotic pit. This practice of general admission for people in the standing room area is not as popular in modern theater, but it is still a staple of musical concerts, especially rock and heavy metal. Only now, there are proper bathrooms, although those are still usually pretty filthy. What do you guys think? If you lived in Elizabethan London and had a chance to go to a Shakespeare play at the Globe, would you spend the extra penny to get a nice, comfortable, fancy seat? Or would you watch from the ground with the unsavory citizens in the muck and the mud, throwing fruit and shouting at the actors? Personally, I like being in the chaos right in front of the stage, up close and personal. So if I would have gone to a play at the Globe Theatre, I would have much rather stood with the groundlings in the pit. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe. Take care.